Good evening, YouTube. You guys are now watching another segment of TheCaliEffect, King of Games. Today, we're going to be watching a Legendary Duelist Sisters of the Rose duel between Trains and Lunalight. It's going to be a really awesome duel to watch. Now, I got to give you guys a little bit of forewarning. Xander was really new to the Lunalight strategy, as I was a little bit to the Train strategy, and we didn't have a lot of time to prepare. We actually only had a day and a half. I like to spend about a week. But there's going to be a couple of misplays that you guys might not like, but please let us know down below in the comment section. It helps both players, or just anybody watching, get better. Xander's going to go ahead and start off by normal summoning Lunalight Kaleidoscope, and when she is normal summoned, she allows you to send a Lunalight monster from your deck to your graveyard as cost. Ladies and gentlemen, that card is insane. It's literally an Armageddon Knight, just a better Armageddon Knight on legs. And this was a cool combo sequence that Xander actually goes into, as he's going to activate Lunalight Tiger into his spell and trap card zone as a pendulum spell card, and then use its effect to special summon the Lunalight Yellow Martin back to his side of the field. He's then going to go ahead and use both of those monsters for an Exceed summon, and now what you guys are thinking, like, what? This deck is going to Exceed summon in 2019? But yes, he's going to make Raid Raptor Force Strix, using its ability to search a Winged Beast monster from his deck to his hand. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. Callie, there's no Winged Beast monsters in this deck. And you're right, no Lunalight monster, at least that I know of, is Winged Beast. But Blackwing Zephyro just so happens to be a very powerful Winged Beast for Lunalights to take advantage of, because sending that card to the graveyard will allow you to recur any Lunalight card in your Pendulum Scale, as well as some other cards like Fire Formation Tenki to your hand for later reusage. Now, how exactly would you guys get that into the graveyard? Well, that problem is going to pretty much solve itself, as Xander's going to use Lunalight Perfume to special summon back his Lunalight Kaleidoscope back to his side of the field. Then he's going to use his Kaleidoscope to send another monster from his deck to his graveyard, a Lunalight in specific. And now he is on the roll. See how those two cards have generated so much advantage, and then you combine it with a card like Lunalight Perfume. He can now send cards like Lunalight Emerald Bird to his deck, from his deck to his graveyard. And that will trigger, well, actually that won't trigger her effect because she was sent to the graveyard as cost and not as part of a card effect. Xander's then going to go ahead and use a Lunalight Perfume's graveyard effect, banishing itself to discard a card to search a Lunalight monster. And as you guys can see, he's discarded the Blackwing Zephyro, so it's going to be really exciting to see what he searches. It's going to be Lunalight Wolf. So now he has Pendulum Scales, ladies and gentlemen. If he ever wanted to Pendulum Summon, now would be a pretty decent time. But I don't think Xander's just finished just yet. He has so many other combos that he wants to take advantage of. Force Strix is in his extra monster zone, so it's kind of clunky. Maybe he can't go into his extra deck unless he bounces it, or he can use Blackwing Zephyros to bounce the Lunalight Tiger to his hand to special summon itself. And now Force Strix and the Blackwing Zephyro can be used for a sort of link summon. Xander, thinking about his next play, he's going to go ahead and actually take advantage by using that Zephyro and that Force Strix for a link summon, ladies and gentlemen, and he's going to make Wheat Witch's Apprentice a dark monster that gives all dark monsters on the field 500 attack and defense. It also decreases the attack and defense of light monsters, which ironically, I think the Lunalight fusions are all dark too, right? Because all of the Lunalights are dark, but they have light in their name. Oh well. Xander's then going to follow up by using Foolish Burial Goods, sending a spell or trap card from his deck to his graveyard, and his plays are getting funkier by the minute, ladies and gentlemen. It's really exciting to see Xander pilot this deck, and even though it might not have been to his fullest potential, I promise you guys, once we get around to the Lunalight deck profile, what you guys can help out with 250 likes, then we will have a refinished or refined build that you will love. Xander is now going to use his second Lunalight Perfume card in his graveyard. It's really a shame, or not even necessarily a shame, that it's just to the Lunalight strategy, but it's really interesting that that card is not once per turn anywhere on its text. He can discard as many cards as he wants to, as well as banish this card to add Lunalight monsters. Not only is it a monster reborn, but a reinforcement of the army of sorts. The card's too strong. He's then going to go ahead and use Lunalight Tiger in his Pendulum Scale, as well as place Lunalight Wolf in his Pendulum Scale. And I want you to pay attention to Lunalight Wolf or Tiger. It is not a once per turn effect. He's going to Pendulum Summon Lunalight Kaleido Chick back to his side of the field. And I think he wants to use Tiger to special summon another monster to his side of the field for more advantage. I mean, that's just how I would do it. I mean, because, you know, putting a whole bunch of monsters on your field, making some pretty good link plays, as well as some amazing fusions. because that's what the deck does. He's going to use Kaleido Chick effect to send Panther Dancer from his deck to his graveyard. And this Kaleido Chick doesn't have its effect negated, so it's actually a Lunalight Panther Dancer on his side of the field. And I think he's going to follow up with some more interesting combos to help him pop off. Next, it looks like he's going to bounce the Lunalight Tiger again to special summon a monster to special summon Lunalight Yellow Martin, and then use those for an Xyz summon into Evil Swarm Nightmare. If I'm correct, he could have used Tiger again to summon another monster to his side of the field and perhaps made a Link 4, as well as Fusion Summon. I thought that was really interesting. He activates the Tiger again in this scale, but decides not to use this effect, and then activates the Yellow Light Wolf, or the Lunalight Wolf's effect. But the Wee Winter Prince and the Lunalight Wolf are pointing in the exact same scales. So if Lunalight Wolf does have the correct appropriate effect and it can banish monsters from the field, I think that Xander did waste quite a bit of resources not using Lunalight Tiger's effect twice, and also not being able to take advantage of the monsters on his board, or his board presence in his graveyard, and placing his monster in the wrong zone. But nonetheless, he actually does special summon Lunalight Leo Dancer to his side of the field, and that monster is a monstrosity. It can't be targeted, 3,500, can attack multiple times, as well as an Evil Swarm Nightmare to flip my monsters face down. I'm going to start off with Infinite Impermanence, and then follow up with Instant Fusion. Infinite Impermanence, only good target would be Evil Swarm Nightmare, and it's going to allow me to Fusion Summon a monster to my side of the field, that being Thousand Eyes Restrict. Now, upon realizing that Lunalight, Cat Dancer can't be targeted, or whatever, Tiger Dancer, whatever she wants to be, Leo Dancer, can't be targeted, this made this situation a lot more tougher for me, especially seeing that I did not draw the most optimal hand. If I can remember correctly, I drew 2 Heavy Freight Train Hurricanes, and I also drew two Super Bullet Express, and I'm like, out of all the hands, who would know that you would draw 2 of, not necessarily terrible cards, but you would need a normal summon, or just anything, a switch yard, something to mitigate that hand, and it would be a really good hand if you did have it, but unfortunately in this situation, I don't. I'm going to use the Thousand Eyes Restrict to take, or to absorb the Evil Swarm Nightmare, and I think that's really about it. Trying to figure out what I can do to break this board. Not much else, so I feel that if I can stall for one more turn, and if I can get one card, just a normal summon, I'll be able to survive. I'm going to use that Relinquished for a Link Karibo. And then I think I'm going to go ahead and pass it back to Xander. If he can't summon commit any more monsters, or a lot of more monsters, and I'm able to survive a turn, I feel like I'm in a really good spot to make another board. Passing it back to Xander, he's going to go ahead and take advantage of his Lunalight Tiger, this time using its ability to special summon a Lunalight Kaleido Chick back to his side of the field. Kaleido Chick's effect can then activate again, sending another Lunalight monster from his deck to his graveyard. And Xander will be in a spot. I hope I didn't call him TJ. That would have been really weird if I called him TJ. I felt like I called him that. And if you guys, again, want to see that train deck profile, ladies and gentlemen, then go ahead and check out the link down below in the comment section. Let's get this video to 250 likes for a Lunalight deck profile. And of course, we'll have those in-depth explanations as well as a saucy combo tutorial. I'm excited to give you guys these type of things. And for the people that want to see the Lunalight deck profile a little bit early, Patreon has exclusive early access to it. They'll be able to see this deck profile the day of, and unfortunately, if the Lunalight deck profile never happens to go to YouTube, it'll always at least be on Patreon. So for the people that are supporters, it's just a little thank you, giving you guys a little something to watch, or, a little bit ahead of time. And don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, I'm really sure that it'll get to 250 likes. All everybody have to do is just pitch in and like the video. A little thank you, you know what I mean? I work hard. Xander is going to go ahead and use his Lunalight Yellow Martin, bouncing his Lunalight Tiger from his face up to his side of the field to his hand, and then he's going to activate the Tiger into his Pendulum Scale yet again. Now, that's going to allow him to special summon Emerald Bird to his side of the field, and then he's going to go ahead and follow up Polymerization, another fusion card. I know this game is a wash. I'm going to go ahead and scoop it up, and we're going to go right into Game 2. It's going to be really interesting to see what's going to happen. And again, TJ's gonna go, or not TJ, Xander's gonna go ahead and go first. Since I did lose the game, I get to decide who goes first or second. I want him to go first, and he's gonna open up with Fire Formation Tenki, using its ability to add a Beast Warrior monster, possibly Kaleido Chick, or even just Tiger. Those 2 cards are extremely important for the deck. you need them to pop off, and once you do start to pop off, the deck becomes incredibly difficult to guard because it can make those OTK boards or some really nice boards to hinder your opponent from playing YuGiOh. Xander's going to go ahead and activate Foolish Burial after adding Lunalight Tiger, so we can already feel that he's in a great spot. He's in all state right now. He's in good hands, especially depending on the card that he decides to send and take advantage of. Seeing that Lunalight monsters gain their effects from being sent to the graveyard by card effects, he'll be in a pretty good spot. So while Xander is taking his sweet old time, I just wanted to say, if you guys like the mat or like the sleeves that we're using, we get them from Imperium Duelist. You can follow down below in the description. Use that or follow that link to go to the site. Use the TheCaliEffect 10 off to get 10% off your entire purchase, ladies and gentlemen. Just if you like the mat, if you like the sleeves. Ultimately, this video is sponsored by Imperium Duelist, so it's a pretty nice company. I like them. I think they're pretty decent. He's going to go ahead and use Foolish Burial to send that Kaleidoscope to the graveyard. And then he's going to go ahead and follow up with Lunalight Tiger, using Tiger's ability to special summon Lunalight Kaleidoscope. Now, Kaleidoscope's effect is negated through Tiger, but I just want to put a point of emphasis is that sending to the graveyard for Kaleidoscope is cost. So you can still activate the effect of Kaleidoscope sending a Lunalight monster from the deck to the graveyard, but then its effect would be negated. Its effect to change its name to another name, that's the part. Furthermore, Kaleidoscope can't be Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. Well, I mean, it can, but it won't stop it from sending a card from the deck to the graveyard, saying that is cost. It also, like Infinite Impermanence, Effect Veiler, hand traps just don't really work on Kaleidoscope. Now, it looks like Xander sent Lunalight Yellow Martin to the graveyard, and I think he's going to go ahead and use that effect, bouncing the Tiger back into his hand to add, or to special summon Martin to his side of the field. I'm not 100% sure if he has the Lunalight Perfume or maybe the Cat Dancer. Maybe he doesn't. Actually, it doesn't look like he does because he probably would have made the 4 Strix. He's going to use those 2 monsters for a Link summon as opposed to just a Xyz summon, which I do find is interesting enough. Maybe he doesn't have that discard to continue on with the combo sequence for Witch's Apprentice. And again, that monster gives 500 attack to all your monsters. He's then going to follow up with Lunalight Tiger to special summon the Kaleidoscope back to his side of the field, or the Kaleido Chick. Now, keep in mind, Lunalight Yellow Martin was supposed to be banished because it was special summoned due to its own effect. So he's going to go ahead and correct that right there. He's then going to use Kaleido Chick's effect again to send another monster from his deck to his graveyard. I'm trying to figure out maybe he's gonna do a different type of combo. I'm not 100% sure. He's going to go ahead and send Purple Butterfly from his deck to his graveyard. And Butterfly does provide a little bit of a different reaction. He can banish it from the graveyard, especially summon a Lunalight monster from his hand. So maybe he can follow up with another play. No, it looks like he's just going to set a card face down. And that might be the end of his turn. That's a little bit depressing for a turn for Lunalight. I feel like they could make a better board, but yeah, that's pretty much it. It looks like Trains are going to have a go at it, and hopefully we can play YuGiOh this time around. I don't see an Evil Storm Nightmare, but I did have the Nightmare Phoenix, or I'm sorry, the Infinite Impermanence. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and start off our turn with something a little better than before. We're going to use Urgent Schedule, allowing us to special summon 1 level 4 or lower and 1 level 5 or higher Machine Earth type monster. And these 2 monsters to our side of the field will be Ruffian Relcar, which allows, when it's into the graveyard, it allows us to add a level 10 Earth Machine monster from our deck to our hand. And we're also going to special summon Speedy Express Linear Bullet. I'm sorry. That's not the real name of it. It's a Super Express Bullet Train in the TCG. Both of these monsters to our side of the field to provide some sort of advantage. Urgent Schedule is just really powerful, ladies and gentlemen. Being able to bring 2 monsters to your side of the field with almost no restriction, it's just like, what were you thinking, Konami? This card is probably easily the best card of the deck. So now I'm trying to figure out my next combo sequence, just making sure. No, it looks like I'm just going to send them right straight to the graveyard for a Link summon into Clayfort Genius. Big brain plays, ladies and gentlemen, because both those monsters' effects will be able to activate, which means I'll be able to get a search and a recursion from the graveyard to my hand, but it looks like that might not be the plan. Runray Car, Railroad Pegasus, or Flying Stampede Pegasus is going to special summon Super Bullet Express to my side of the field. I'm going to use the Stampede's effect to turn them to both to 10, and it looks like we're going to make Super Drowned Rail Cannon Gustav Max. Try to say that card 10 times fast. And then using its effect to inflict 2,000 damage to Xander. This game is already over as I'm going to summon Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Juggernaut to the side of the field, using its effect to detach one material from itself to make it 6,000 attack, ladies and gentlemen. That is insane, and its ability to attack into every single one of my opponent's monsters is going to give me enough for game. That is insane. Going into game 3 already with this combos. It's going to be really exciting to see which one of these decks will prevail. Will it be Lunalights and its ability to summon a huge monster to its side of the field, or will it be the Trains which summons an even bigger monster? Lunalights have more combo potential if you ask me. Trains have a little bit more sturdiest. I'm going to be forced to go first. I'm going to set a monster face down in defensive position and 2 cards face down. Passing it back to Xander, I wonder what those face down cards will be. Hopefully something to disrupt the Lunalights, or will they just be bluff cards? Xander's going to go ahead and activate Fire Formation Tinky, using its ability to add a level 4 or lower Beast Warrior monster from his deck to his hand. Card's really good for Lunalights. He's going to go ahead and add that Kaleido Chick from his deck to his hand. And it looks like he already might have that combo set up, and that's pretty much the bread and butter of this deck. I can't say it enough. He's then going to go ahead and, I'm assuming normal summoning that Kaleido Chick to his side of the field, which is going to do so, and then use its ability to send one Lunalight monster from his deck to his graveyard. It looks like I'm allowing all that to happen, but, you know, just fixing the Tiki situation. It's a continuous spell card, so it gets placed in the spell and trap card zone, not sent straight to the graveyard after activation. Xander's going to take advantage of Lunalight Kaleido Chick, sending Lunalight Yellow Martin from his deck to his graveyard. And these Duelist of the Roses cards from the new set for this Lunalight deck make this deck really powerful. He's then going to use Lunalight Tiger's effect to target, or I would assume to target, the Lunalight Yellow Martin to special summon itself, but it looks like I may have a response judging on his hesitation. And it looks like I do, since, you know, he has put the card back. And it's only confirmed through the code by the grave targeting the Lunalight Yellow Martin. That does so many things on so many different levels, ladies and gentlemen. Not only does Tiger necessarily, quote-unquote, miss his target, but he can't use Lunalight Yellow Martin, which is a pivotal part of this deck. Does Xander actually have a comeback play? It looks like he does. He's going to use Foolish Burial to send one monster from his deck to his graveyard. Off the top of the head, the 3 cards that come to play is Blackwing Zephyro, Lunalight Emerald Bird, and also Lunalight Purple Butterfly, depending on his sequence, depending on how he wants to put those monsters in the graveyard, or what he has in his immediate hand will help him. He's going to send that Emerald Bird, and that monster effect is pretty good. It's going to allow him to special summon a Lunalight monster that is from his graveyard or banished to his side of the field, which is going to get him a little bit a board presence. I thought that was pretty interesting, really good for the Lunalight strategy. And as you guys can see, I'm having to read these cards because I'm like, what does this do? What does this do? What does this do? You know, just trying to figure out what does what. He's going to go ahead and special summon Lunalight Yellow Martin to his side of the field, and he can make a Nightmare, or an Evil Swarm Nightmare, maybe? No, he's going to go ahead and use Polymerization, using both of those monsters as material for a fusion summon. Now, Xander does make another misplay right here. He's going to use the effect of Yellow Martin. At the time, I didn't even know that Yellow Martin searched Lunalight spells and traps. I'm thinking it's Kaleido Chick that allows him to search. So he's going to go ahead and get off that Lunalight Yellow Martin's effect, even though it was called by the Graved. And he's going to spell summon Cat Dancer and attack, which I think it should have been in defense, because if I do summon a huge train monster, cough cough Super Dreadnought Juggernaut, I can just attack to that monster for a ton of damage, possibly even game if I use the Gustav Max's effect before. So that monster definitely should have been in defense, and he won't be able to search the Lunalight fusion, but it's all good. It's really, you guys want to see an amazing game, and because of this misplay, you guys get to see some pretty awesome games, or some more extended combos between both of these decks. Xander thinking about what he's going to do. I think he's going to use... No, it looks like he just swindled me and used both effects, and I just weren't aware of that. He's going to add a monster from his graveyard to his hand. Is that what Lunalight Kaleido Chick does? If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target one Polymerization in your graveyard, add it to your hand. Huh. I don't know what he exactly did. But he's going to go ahead and use the Cat Dancer to attack into my Ruffian Rail card, triggering Ruffian's ability to allow me to add one monster from my deck to my hand during the end phase. So, Xander is in a pretty interesting position. On the end phase, I'm going to use Ruffian Railcar's effect to add that level 10 Earth Machine monster from my deck to my hand. And I'm still in a really solid position right now because I'll be able to get one of the pieces that I need. And with my back row or my face down card might surprise you because this game, while it might look like it's in Xander's good hands, it can shift at any given time. I'm going to go ahead and add Heavy Freight Derricane to my hand. And then I'm going to flip on my face down to reveal some secret sauce for you, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, it isn't secret sauce. It's just the best card inside of this deck. That face down card being Urgent Schedule, the quick play spell card that allows me to special summon 2 train monsters to my side of the field. More specifically, 1 level 4 or lower Earth Machine monster, 1 level 5 or higher Earth Machine monster to my side of the field. That being another train and a Railroad Stampede. And then I'm just going to go ahead and trigger the effect of my Derricane in hand to special summon itself to the side of the field. Looking at the card, just verifying, it says if an Earth Machine monster is special summoned, you can, so it doesn't miss timing. I can just go ahead and plop it down, even if it does create a new chain to my side of the field. And then I'm in a pretty good position, having 3 monsters on my field before Xander even takes his turn. So starting off with my turn, it's going to be really interesting. I'm going to actually take advantage of that Lunalight Cat Dancer in the extra monster zone, allowing me to use one of the best spell cards that this deck does have to offer. And yes, this is a Shaddoll Train deck. We're going to use Shaddoll Fusion, similar to what Lunalight Fusion does, but a little better. We kind of realized that, or I realized that after post-production. Sending a Earth monster to the graveyard and a Shaddoll monster to my graveyard. I'm going to send Super Bullet Express to the grave, as well as a Shaddoll monster, which could be either Beast or Hedgehog. It could be Squamata. It could be a lot of things. It could be Dragon. Actually, I remember in this particular sequence, I drew the dragons. It was definitely a dragon. I'm going to go ahead and send Shaddoll Beast from my deck to my graveyard, and I'm going to special summon a Shaddoll monster, as you guys would already know. Still debating on if I want those particular 2. I'm like, yeah, this feels about right. So I'm going to go ahead and send him to the graveyard to special summon El Shaddoll Sheki Naga, ladies and gentlemen. That monster is a beast. Not only is it 2600 attack, it's an Earth Machine monster. It allows me to trigger my Shaddoll Beast effect through all that conjunction. Now, Xander does have a tough decision. I would have personally saved the card. He's going to use the Call by the Grave on the Shaddoll Beast. He does not want me to get that draw. Personally, I would have saved the card, because if I were to detach Derricanes for an Exceed summon, he can use the Call by the Grave to protect his monsters from the destruction. So I definitely would have saved the Call by the Grave. That actually, if you ask me, is pivotal, the ability to be able to stop situations like that. So I'm going to use those 2 monsters for a Cleave 4 Genius. Cleave 4 Genius to target a Derricane to target the Cat Dancer, and then both the Derricanes for another Link summon. And this right here is going to make a level 10 Exceed Train monster. Huge plays right now, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to go ahead and make that number 81 Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Super Dora. This card's so super it has super twice in its name. Using the Super Dora's effect to make it unaffected, and then his Super Dora's effect again. Actually, I'm not sure if the Dreadnought, the Heavy Freight, makes the Dreadnought gain the ability. If it does gain the ability, you can't Call by the Grave it. But if it's the Heavy Freight Train itself giving it the ability, or having the ability of being detached, then yes, he could have Called by the Grave it and not only saved him from 1 destruction, but 2 destructions. That would have been pretty pivotal. I think that the outcome of the game would have still been the same. I actually looked over it, went over his hand and everything. The outcome would still be the same, but it still would have been, the right plays to do, the more legal plays. On the end phase, I'm going to go ahead and use my Super Bullet Train to add the Stampede from my graveyard to my hand. And we're going to pass it right back to Xander. Xander on a rope right here, 5,400 life points. I have a Destruction on the field, as well as a monster that's unaffected by card effects with detaching. He's going to go ahead and activate that Foolish Burial Goods, allowing him to send 1 spell or trap card from his deck to the graveyard. And he can either send that Lunalight Perfume or the new Lunalight Serenade Trap card from his deck to the graveyard. He's going to go ahead and send the Perfume. I thought the Trap card would be pretty decent depending on your hand sequence. And then he's going to go ahead and use the Perfume's effect, banishing itself and discarding the Blackwing Zephyro to search a Lunalight monster from his deck to his hand. He's going to search the Lunalight Tiger, and unfortunately, like I said, if he would have used the Call by the Grave correctly, he would have actually had the Lunalight Tiger on his field, so we could have sent the Serenade Dance to special summon a monster as opposed to just adding a Tiger. Another misplay that Xander does make in this particular combo sequence is when he activates the Tiger, I'm going to go ahead and use the number 81 Super Rail Dreadnought Cannon to make itself unaffected, and then the Heavy Freight Train Hurricanes effect activates to destroy it. Is that Xander... it's not necessarily just Xander's fault. We just don't read cards particularly well. And you guys have to think literally when I read this card, I was like, oh, it's a Shaddoll Fusion. Even in the video where when I introduced the cards, I'm like, oh, it's Shaddoll Fusion. Lunalight Fusion is similar to Shaddoll Fusion, as you guys can send cards from your deck to the graveyard. But Lunalight Fusion is different because you can only send one. But again, this is all fixable if, you know, he just uses the Blackwing Zephyros to bounce the Tenki, to spell summon Zephyro to his side of the field. He can then use Tenki's effect again to search a Lunalight Tiger to special summon a Kaleidoscope to send Martin to bounce to summon Martin back to his side of the field. And voila, he can do the exact same thing with the Lunalight Fusion, ladies and gentlemen. It's not that much of a misplay. It's just when you're going through the processes of deck building and playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Sometimes you don't read the card effects 100% correctly. Nonetheless, it's still really fun to watch these two decks go at it. And I'm excited to actually present that deck profile now that I'm a lot more advanced into the Lunalight strategy. He's going to go ahead and special summon Lunalight Leo Dancer, and that card is a terror while on the field. The ability to attack multiple times, can't be targeted or destroyed by card effects, destroys all special summon monsters, excuse me, all wrapped into one package. This card is insanely powerful, ladies and gentlemen. It's the reason why Lunalights, I feel, are so good, because being able to consistently summon this monster is pretty much actually is a win condition if you guys ask me. It has everything you're looking for inside of a boss monster, ladies and gentlemen, and TJ's not done. He's gonna go ahead and, or not TJ, Xander's not done. He's gonna use the effect of Lunalight Fusion. I gotta get him off of my videos. We have to get more variety. No more Xander. We gotta get, or no more TJ. We gotta get more Xander, more Amber, more everybody else. So I could just, you know, just disregard his name completely. But back onto the game. He's going to use his Emerald Bird. He attempts to summon Lunalight Panther Dancer, but that monster can only be, not only was it not properly special summoned, it can only be special summoned by Fusion Summon. He's going to go ahead and summon the Lunalight Cat Dancer to his side of the field instead, and now he has an opportunity to inflict some serious damage. He's going to activate that Lunalight Tiger to his Pendulum Scale and use its ability to special summon a monster to his side of the field. Now, if done correctly, his Lunalight Tiger, or his Lunalight Leo Dancer would have been 4,000 attack with a Wee Witch Apprentice. He could have used the Kaleido Trick in the Zephyros for the Wee Witch, and he would have been able to attack multiple times. I think that would have been a lot better in this particular situation. Actually, I think it can be universally accepted that it would have been a lot better in this particular situation, and I probably shouldn't have Super Dora to destroy the Lunalight Tiger. I should have held it a little bit longer. I don't know, there's not really much to hit in this deck. But Xander's going to go ahead and attack into that Super Dora, and then use the effect of his Leo Dancer to destroy my Cleafort Genius, and then attack again for a massive amount of damage. Unfortunately, his Kaleido Chick cannot attack, and his Lunalight Cat Dancer is in defense. So he's going to leave me at 4,200 life points, but I'm still at some life points. On his end phase, I'm going to use Urgent Schedule, allowing me to special summon two monsters, to train monsters from my deck to my side of the field. And this could be a really bad situation for Xander, because now I'm going to be able to put some monsters that allow me to gain a board. Reading that Lunalight Leo Dancer a couple of times, trying to figure out what it does. I'm going to go ahead and special summon Ruffian Rail card to my side of the field. And you guys can already expect a Super Bullet Express to follow suit, because of its ability, or you know, just the ability to recur cards from my graveyard just in case this turn doesn't go how I plan it to be. So I'm going to go ahead and summon that Super Express Bullet Train to my side of the field. And now I can set up for a couple of Link plays, XC plays, whatever I really want to, depending on the situation. Now, Super Bullet, or I'm sorry, Urgent Schedule does negate those monsters' effects. So it kind of does, like, it's not bad. It just, reading, I don't know what I'm trying to read. Like, obviously, I'm going to use these monsters for Link summons. I'm going to go ahead and normal summon that flying Pegasus to my side of the field, use this effect to spell summon Duracane to my side of the field, and now it looks like I'm going to be going for a Link summon using Railcar and the Super Bullet for a land Fornicus. I could have made another Click for Genius, but I only play one, using both the Pegasus and the Freight Train for another Exceed summon, using Flying Pegasus to make itself 10. I'm going to make the Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Gustav Max inflict 2,000 damage to Xander's life points, and that is enough for me to go ahead and special summon to my side of the field Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Juggernaut. The Lunalight Kaleidoscope should not be on the field, ladies and gentlemen. It should have been destroyed during the end phase due to the Tiger Cat's effect, but it almost does not matter. This 6,000 monstrosity would be able to attack into both of his monsters and practically finish the game on its own right. Thank you guys so much for watching another segment of the TheCaliEffect. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and give it a like, and if you didn't, let us know down below in the comment section what we could do to be better. Please like, comment, subscribe, but most of all, enjoy. I hope you guys are having a great day like I am.